I think the minute I stepped on a practice field for rugby, the calling happened.
An 8-year plan to be on the team. And I was in it within 2 years.
Don't wait until you are a pro to be a pro. Right.
And I walk around with a rugby ball sometimes and they're like, what is this child on?
It just looks like it was a heavy hit.
It's up, it's not up.
You know, that's the first time I played like professionally.
I'm making rugby money. How can I make money outside of it?
And there was two Scottish guys, and they said, "Oh, you're here for the movie."
That rugby is a game for all shapes and sizes, all cultural aspects.
He looked at me and he says, "You guys are awesome."
Yo, what's up, everybody? Hey, my name is Gift Time and Bailey. Welcome to Rugby Swag Show, where we talk about people and the things that they've done, created, or taken advantage of via rugby. We got a special show today. It's going to be short for a couple reasons. Number one, I felt like it was a kind of a slow week of rugby, so not a whole lot was going on to talk about. Post Rugby World Cup. We're just trying to find our way back. I know some of the pros leagues around the world are starting up, but nobody's really back in full form, and we're getting some little games here and there, but nothing yet that I feel like it was great talking about. And number two is today's my anniversary, so I'm literally just to record this to basically just drop a little bit, and then I got to go take care of business because, hey, man, husband life, baby, husband life, proud 2 years. So just before we get really started, I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. I had a lot of support off of our last episode, talking about squids particularly. A lot of people joined in, and thank you and welcome all of y'all. I hope you guys get a chance to enjoy this show and everything that we have to bring to Rugby Swag Show and then to Gift Time Rugby Network, and I hope you guys just get to take it all in. And in the meantime, if you guys want, absolutely follow us on Rugby Swag Show on Instagram. You can follow me at Giftebelu, GIFTEGBELU on X, Gift Time Rugby on Facebook, YouTube, and of course TikTok. Of course, subscribing here. And if you guys are not able to take the time to watch the show, this one's not going to be live. It's not going to be live, this one, but we'll be back next week. But you can always check it out on our podcast. Check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and of course iHeartRadio, and just a plethora of other ones, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, this is going to be a short one today. I'm really just going to go through a couple things that really caught me this week, but other than that, we're not really too heavy on anything. So kind of let's get this up and kicking off. First and foremost, look, man, this was a USA Rugby kind of week. I think, again, there wasn't too much that was happening, but a lot happened for USA Rugby that I think needed to be talked about. And kind of first and foremost was the hiring that USA Rugby finally has a new women's 15 coach. They've been sitting in an interim head coach had taken the women to the WXV2 tournament that was taking place in Cape Town this past October. But officially, we now have our new 15s coach, and he goes by the name of Mwaki Fukuoka. Oh, hold on, I got to make sure I said that right. I don't want to insult the name. I did insult the name because it's not. It is Sion Fukufuka from Australia. He's going to be taking over as the women's 15s coach. It has been at least a few months since our last head coach stepped down shortly after the results of the Rugby World Cup, which wasn't great from last year. But, it's at least a good step. This guy is a very, very qualified person. He's been the head coach, assistant coach with Queensland Rugby, been director of rugby for Canterbury College. I mean, he's working with the Wallaroos, which is the women's rugby national team. So he's been in it. He's got 30 years of experience between coaching, playing, and just really being able to hopefully be a bright light. He seems like he's a fun guy from what it seems, from what I've heard around. He's genuinely a good guy. So, really when it comes to women, especially the 15s, we know that we've been really needing to see a really big jump in the play. We haven't really seen great performance really since 2017, maybe 2018 at the latest. Since the pandemic, it has been very, very half-hearted for the 15 side, but I know we're also trying to bring in new players and also establish with the veterans. So hopefully with Sion, we can see some new changes going in. What he's done with the Wallaroos, hopefully can do it here, because the Wallaroos did well. The Wallaroos did well in the last Women's Rugby World Cup that took place in New Zealand last year, and of course 2017 was also an amazing year for them as well too. So I'm happy for it. You know, USA Rugby is trying to, you know, get things up a little bit more. And again, we'll talk about it a little bit more later. But on the other side of it, where we've got to hire, it looks like we are losing a CEO. So it looks like, as was expected, Ross Young for USA Rugby is stepping down, and USA Rugby is looking for a new CEO. So this is your moment. This is your time to go ahead and put in your application. Now, I don't know if you necessarily are going to get anything, in almost 90% certainty, 98% certainty you won't, but it doesn't take away from the fact that, hey, it is still up for grabs for anybody who's being run by Bloom Sports Partners. You got to have a searching for them in some way, shape, or form. And they've provided a list of like characteristics that they want. I just want to go through a couple of them. They kind of broke it into about four different outcomes that they are looking for. So they broke it from essential to desirable to skills. They have it like experience essential, experience desirable, skills, abilities, and knowledge essential, skills, ability, and desire essential. Hold on, let me see if I can go ahead and throw this one up onto the screen, because I think it'll be good to at least have a better idea of what I'm looking at here. Let's see here. Okay. So, all right. So this is what we got going on right now. Like I said, it's nothing really too dynamic. I think an experience, they're looking for 3 years of leadership experience. You're looking for experience in professional sports at both high performance, community based. For desirable, they're hoping for evidence of leading an organization through the world stage, such as Olympics or World Cup. Professional rugby knowledge experience, a strong network with the international sports industry, the ability to be able to negotiate and secure major sponsorships and partnerships, commercial and marketing experience within the sport, knowledge essential, dynamic visionary leadership. I think we can find that. Highly motivated, action focused, and a doer, not just a talker, and understands U.S. sports ecosystem. Evidence of successful implementation. This is desirable. Ability to manage PR and media effectively. So, you know, it's pretty basic. I think we know that the biggest issue is going to be like, are you actually going to be making the decisions? Because we know how much World Rugby is running the strings on USA Rugby. So are you going to be a progressive CEO, or are you about to just end up being just another patsy who just executes what they're told, which is most likely what's going to end up happening, to be perfectly honest with you. It's one of those where you're just like, okay, well, it's good, but hey, you have a chance. And a lot of people talk smack. I'm always saying put in. You don't know what's going to happen, but the least you can do is bloody try. And then, you know, this past weekend, kind of jumping back into the positives, we had the international competition tournament, Vila International Cup, take place in Spain. This involves USA men, Canada, Brazil, and Spain taking on each other. USA took on Brazil this past weekend. Canada took on Spain. Needless to say, this was not favorable for Canada, because USA, in my conflicted heart, took it to Brazil, beating them 48-3. I watched a little bit of the game. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the greatest looking game in the world. Like the men did well, were able to take advantage of edges. Just the whole environment, the whole setup was kind of dreary, to be honest with you. And again, it could be lighting, but it was it was barely anybody in the stands. And then the lighting is dark. And I say that just because of the fact that it makes a difference how you present the game. And it didn't feel like, honestly, an international game. It felt like a early stage club match. And maybe to some extent, it really kind of was playing out like that. So, but you know what? I'm going to take it. A win is a win. Scott Lawrence is getting a chance to show us what he can do with the guys. And I'm a big believer, try and dominate the Americas before you worry about dominating the rest of the world, or for most people, dominate your region before you dominate the rest of the world, and before you worry about taking on the top competition. So in this, hey, we got one. Hey, let's put some positive out there. Thanksgiving is coming up, so let me continue to bring the spirit of thanks going through, and see what we can really do out of it. This weekend we have Spain taking on USA. Actually, Spain ended up beating Canada in that. 42-20 over Canada. Man, Canada's really fallen off over the leagues. 5 tries. But yeah, it's just not a good look for Canada. But hey, man, USA, hopefully we can take this chance, because we did not do well against Spain, I think, in the repêché or a little bit beforehand. We already lost to Portugal. We've lost to Chile. I mean, Latin America is really whooping our butts. So hopefully we can kind of get ourselves back. Maybe not Latin America, but at least Hispanic. Let's get at least something within Hispanic in this situation. Because if you know Spain, Spanish, is it? Yeah, would be. So we can make up for Chile and Uruguay with Spain. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. But we'll see what happens with it. Again, you're going to get a lot of the same lineouts happening in Spain. So this is a home game for Spain, even though, like I said, didn't feel very busy or very strong. It's worrisome. And then, like I said, this is very, very quick. Lastly, big shout out to Blaine Scully. Blaine, who is a friend of the show. You guys can actually check his episode out. He is actually on episode 20. Episode, I don't even remember what episode are you, Blaine? But you can check him out. Great conversation, great guy, former USA rugby captain. He graduated. What makes it more important is not just that he graduated; he actually graduated from Oxford. So hey, like I said, we're sending out positive vibes on this one. No big criticisms or anything like that. Again, the age of thanks, even though we'll probably go a lot harder next week on the actual week where Thanksgiving is actually coming around. But until that moment, we take it where it is. It's episode 8, not 20. Episode 8, you guys can check them out on. But like I said, wanted to do a big shout out and give him his credit where credit is due, because it's always good to be able to support that. But other than that, guys, I do not have anything else for y'all. Look, it's short week, anniversary, nothing really too much happening. I know like I said, Premiership and Top 14 and URC is happening, but they're just getting their players back. Next week, we'll be seeing actually full rosters again, no more third stringers, and we can talk a little bit more about it. Big shout out WPL, Women's Premier League here in the US, had their all-star game, and was a great outing. And also, big happy birthday to Tiffany Faye, another friend of the show, having her birthday today. So this would be November 14th. So that's really it. Guys, keeping it nice and short. We'll go into it a little bit harder next week. And in the meantime, definitely please tell your friends. Please subscribe. Everybody who subscribed already to the YouTube channel, who's been commenting and engaging, absolutely thank you. Love the energy, love the pushback, and love just the conversations that are happening on more and more. Look forward to what we got going on into the future. But as I will always say, and like I said, if you're new, just to let you know, and if you're not new, you know what it is, man. I hope that you are happy. I hope that you are healthy, but most importantly, I hope that you know that you are highly favored. Until next time, y'all. Cheers.